Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all staying safe at home and looking after yourself. I know it's the coronavirus season and it's Ramadan, so for those who are fasting and being patient at home, you got this. You're doing really well. Now, most importantly in this paper, I'll be going through the first part of this complete walkthrough series, and this is the January 2020 paper 1H. So I've also got paper 2H, and I'll be doing both of these back to back. So for the next 4 days, you should get at least updates on this video. Hopefully I can do it faster so you guys can get it sooner than later. But other than that, it's the same rules always apply. Always go through the formulas. If there's any questions or doubts you guys got, let me know. And yeah, that's really about it as always. But other than that, guys, you know the drill, and good luck. Now it tells us that the point A has coordinate 5 minus 4 and point B has coordinates 13 and 1. And just quick recap, guys, yeah? The coordinates are always in the form x and y, where the first position is x and the second position is y. Now in part A, they want us to work out the coordinates of the midpoint of AB. In other words, the halfway value of these 2 points, yeah? Now there's a nice and easy way to calculate the halfway value of the midpoint M, yeah? What I would do is just look at the x coordinates for a second, 5 and 13. I would add them up. So 5 plus 13 gives us 18. And then I would half the value. And then I'll do the same for the next one. We'll do minus 4, add 1, which is minus 3. And then I'll half that as well. And then when you put this in the calculator, or just do it mentally, you'll get 9 and minus 1.5. And that's it. That's 1A done. Okay, now moving on to parts B and C. Well, it tells us that we have a line L that has equation y equals 2 minus 3x. Okay, so this is a straight line equation. Guys, when you have straight line equations, always think of this. Y equals mx plus c, where m here is your gradient and c is the y-intercept, yeah? So in this question, they want us to work out the gradient of the line L. Well, just look at this equation here right now. I would just tidy this up a bit. I'll make it look like this form right here. So I'll put minus 3x first, so we're going to have y equals minus 3x and then plus 2. So clearly the gradient is just the value from the x, in this case minus 3. That's it. So m equals minus 3. Now for the second part, it says does the point with coordinates 100 and minus 302 lie on this line? Give a reason for your answer. Well, to show that a certain coordinate lies on a certain line, you must be able to plot this x value and it should output the same y value. In other words, if you plot 100 here, you should get minus 3 over 2 here. That's if it lies on a line. But let's test that for a second, yeah? Let's say, okay, so let y equal 2 minus 3 times 100. Well, if you put this quickly in the calculator, you should get a result of minus 298. So no, it doesn't equal minus 302. So therefore, the answer is no, does not lie on line L. And that's it, like not much to it. All right, number 2. So find the lowest common multiple of 28 and 105. Okay, so for these kind of questions, we always start with one of these pair of numbers, which is 28. And the objective is to keep breaking it down into prime factors, yeah? And the best way to do this is to use the factor tree. So looking at 28, what I could just infer from this is this can be divisible by 2. And we know that 2 times 14 gives us 28. So guys, keep on reducing this till you get prime numbers, yeah? And every time you get to a prime number, always circle it. So now from 14, we have 2 and 7. And that's it. So here's your prime numbers. Repeat the same for 105. Well, we know this is divisible by 5 because anything else than a 5 is 5 times table. Divide this by 5, you get 5 and 21. Break 21 down, you get 3 and 7. So, and then these are your prime numbers, 5, 3, and 7. Now, since we've done this part, we need to now figure out what the LCM of these two numbers are. Now, what I personally do is that I always draw a Venn diagram. So let's draw a Venn like this, and I label the first circle 28 and the second one 105. And in the center, I always put the common prime factor in. So looking at all these numbers, you can see 28 has 2, 2, and 7. 105 has 3, 5, and 7. Now looking at both, they both have a common value of 7. So So put 7 there and then cross these out. And then we just put the rest in the other cells. Well, 28 also has 2 sets of 2, so 2 times 2, we can just write 2 squared. And 105 has a 3 and a 5. Now, to calculate the LCM, it's literally the product of every number you see inside. So we say, alright, therefore the LCM is going to be 2 squared times 7 times 3 times 5. And that's it, guys. This is your answer. And just in case it doesn't say leave it in this form, I will just put this in a calculator and you should get 420. And that's it. That's 2 done. Alright guys, number 3. The diagram shows a shape. The shape has area 129 centimeters squared. Work out the value of x. Okay, when you get shapes like this, my advice is to always try and split them up. So what I would do is just draw a dotted line somewhere around here. Then I'll just try and work out the area of each block. Now look at this shape. We can see that the first rectangle is just an area of 9 times 12, which is 108. And we know that the small rectangle has a width of x and also a height here of, well, if you know the whole height from here to here is 9 and it's cut by 6, this means that its remainder must be 3. Okay, and we know that means the area here is 3 times x, which is 3x. Now at this stage, all you want to do is realize that the sum of these two must add up to make 129. So we say, okay, 108 plus 3x must equal 129. And then just doing the maths, let's subtract 108 across. So we're left with 3x equals 21. Dividing by 3, therefore x must be 7. And that's it, guys. Okay, number 4. So the table shows information about the weights in kilograms of 40 babies. Okay, so here's your weights. So this table trying to tell us that for babies that weigh between 2 and 3 kg, there's 12 of them. Whereas on the last class, there's only one baby between 6 and 7 kg. Okay, cool. Now, write down the modal class. Alright, so when you see the word modal, this means the mode, or the class that has the highest frequency. Well, we can see that the class with the 16 is this group here. So we just write that entire thing in. So the answer is just basically W between 3 and 4. And that's it. Alright, B. Work out an estimate for the mean weight of the 40 babies. Okay, so in order to work out the mean weight, we need 2 things. The first thing we need is the total weight of all these babies. And because you've got a frequency table, the best way to get total weight is to find the midpoint first and multiply against the frequency, then add them up. Okay, so let's write here. So first things first, we need a midpoint column, and we need to just find the midpoint of all the weight values. Well, the best way to find the midpoint is just simply add them up and divide them by 2. Or actually, this is quite straightforward. Between 2 and 3 is just 2.5. And the next one should be 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, and 6.5. And then we just multiply these numbers across. So we write a new total here and just call it fx if you want. So we can say 12 times 2.5 plus 16 times 3.5, so on. Once you do the maths here, you should get a total amount of 144, guys, yeah? Once you multiply and then you add them up. And then we say, okay, the mean weight of these 40 babies, well, we know that the total weight for all the babies is 144. We got 40 babies. So divided by 40, you should get a mean weight of about 3.6 kg. Yeah, and that's B done. Okay, part C. So one of the 40 babies is going to be chosen at random. Find the probability that this baby has a weight of more than 5 kg. Okay, more than 5 kg. So let's have a look. So we just have to find the group where it's 5 and bigger. Well, we got 2 columns. We got 5 to 6 and 6, 7. So we got actually 2 plus 1. So we got 3 babies that are bigger than 5 kg. And because we know there are 40 babies, the probability is just 3 out of 40. So yeah, nothing to it. Alright, number 5. So 120 children go on an activity holiday. Alright, cool. The ratio of the number of girls to the number of boys is 3 to 5. Okay, so straight away we need to realize that the total number of parts here is 8, because 3 plus 5 is 8. Now on Sunday, all of the children either go sailing or go climbing. So it says here that 16 over 25 of the boys go climbing. So this means that the remainder, 9 out of 25 of the boys, so remember this is boys not girls here, go sailing. Alright, now twice as many girls go sailing as go climbing. Okay, so that's useful. So for the girls, we can say that this is basically 2 to 1 for the girls. And this is in the order of sailing to climbing. Work out how many children go sailing on Sunday. Okay guys, so there's quite a bit of info here. So what we should do is try and collect and break up the info here. Now, if we go back to the beginning, it says that there was 120 children that go on activity holiday. We know out of this 120, there's a total of 8 parts that represent boys and girls. So straight off the bat, we can say that 8 parts must represent 120 children, right? This means that for only a single part, so 1/8 of it, if we divide 120 by 8, we should get 15 children. So 15 children represents a single part. So therefore, we can see that 3 parts, which represents the number girls, must be 3 times 15. So 3 times 15 is 45 girls. So that's how many girls there are. Therefore, the 5 parts are for the boys. So 5 times 15 is 75 boys. And yeah, looks like we're almost done. So remember, we're only interested in how many children actually go sailing, yeah? So we know straight from the bat that 9 out of 25 of boys go sailing. So that means since there's 75 boys, 9 out of 25 of 75, so 9 over 25 times 75. If you just quickly put that in your calculator, you should get 27 go sailing, which are boys. As for the girls, well, it says twice as many girls go sailing as go climbing. First things first, how many girls are there again? Well, there are 45 girls. We know that 2 parts go sailing, 1 part go climbing. This means there's a total of 3 parts for girls. So we can say off the bat that 2 out of 3, or 2/3 of girls go sailing. So we can say 2 over 3 of the total number of girls, which is 45, go sailing. And doing this in the calculator, 2 over 3 times 45 should gives us 30. And therefore, the total number of children that go sailing must be 27 plus 30 equals 57. And that's it, guys. That's 5 done. And number 6. Okay, write 7.8 times 10 to the negative 4 as an ordinary number. Oof, alright, this is so good. All this naturally means is that you want 4 zeros behind the 7. Okay, so every time you go negative power, take the unit digit and just put whatever number zeros it tells you. In this case, 4. So it's going to be 4 zeros like that, and then 7/8. And we always put a decimal place over here. And that's it. That's literally 1 mark for that. And B, work out this whole sum and give your answer in standard form. Again, like you can just literally put this all in your calculator one time. If you got a Casio calculator, put all these digits on the top and then go down and put this on the bottom. When you do that, you should get an answer that looks a bit like this. What is it? 22,500,000. Okay. Now, to write this in standard form, a nice little tip I personally recommend is always underline the first digit. Okay, so let's write that 2. And always write 2 point and write every non-zero digit you have. In this case, it's 25. So you go 2.25 times 10 to the power of, well, to figure out what the positive power is, we just count how many numbers are after the first 2. Well, we got 3 zeros, another 3 digits, and another digit here. So that's 7 digits. And that's it. This is your final answer. I just want to thank you guys for coming to this end of my channel, and if you've enjoyed the content so far, just go into my channel page, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for more notifications. And if you want, you can do personalized or all, and that way you won't miss any future maths or educational videos. Anyway guys, thank you for watching and see you next time. Ciao.